This is Song of Wata, written, illustrated, and narrated by Nakia Shade, with music composed by Queen of Goldfish, an audiobook drama published by I Am Nakia Shade on YouTube. Chapter 10, The Fisherman's Mayhem. The ambulance rattles beneath the founding family. Every bump on the highway jolts through metal. Niambe braces one hand against the gurney, the other wraps tightly around her father's. His skin is colder than it should be. "Baba," Niambe says. "Stay with me." The heart monitor stutters beside him. Musa sits across from her, one hand gripping the rail, the other hovering like he didn't know how to help. "He's fading," Musa says. Niambe hums a childhood song that eases her father's pain, soothing the erratic beat on the monitor. The ambulance slows. Traffic inches ahead. Outside, the traffic stalls on either side of the Fremont Bridge as it opens to let a car go past it. The siren stretches longer, but the ambulance slows anyway. Niambe turns to the driver. "Take the exit," she says. The junior EMT lets out a sharp laugh from the passenger seat. "No, Wata woman, that's not happening." Niambe hisses low. Her throat burns. "If we stay here, he dies." Ronnie slithers onto Niambe's shoulder. "Take the exit to the ferry, then drive into the river." "What did the snake just say?" the junior EMT questions. Musa didn't hesitate. "You heard her." "I'll take the exit," the older EMT says. The junior EMT stiffens. His hand tightens on the radio. "We're not getting directions from a snake." Niambe moved before she could think. Metal clattered. The radio hit the floor. His words cut off as Niambe snaps the cuff tight around his wrist and the other to the brace of the chair. The man struggles. Sharp and ugly, he laughs. "Wake up, John. She's controlling you. That's what the Mami Wata do. Controlling humans with our own memories, imaginations, and dreams." "Riley, shut up." Niambe frowns at Riley. She grabs the headphones, shoves them over his ears, turns the CD player dial up all the way. Riley's shouting slows, slurs, then stops. "Songbird," Musa asks, "what did you do?" "I sing lullabies to the restless and antsy kids, so I guess it works on adults too." They arrived at the harbor, and a gust of wind slammed into the ambulance. Rain spirals from wheels to tail. The ambulance lifts. Water surges beneath the tires, hardening into a moving sheet. John turns the ambulance into neutral and allows the ambulance to skirt onto the water. "We'll get you where you need to go, Niambe. Your family saved Castadia. Remember every kindness." He loosens his grip on the wheel, just trusting the flow of the Columbia River. Niambe turns to the back doors. The ambulance glides down the river, across the current, fast as a sailfish. They're finally going home. The wheels screamed as the ambulance touched down on the shore of Fort Stevens. Metal skidded across oil-slick pavement before the vehicle fishtailed to a stop, glowing black trails burning briefly beneath the tires. The ocean air hit first, cold, sharp, heavy with salt and crude oil. Beyond the headlights, the Pacific hums in the dark, vast, endless waiting. John jumps out first, sweeping his flashlight across jagged rocks glazed in oil. Wind whips at his jacket hard enough to make him stumble. Musa shoves the back doors open. The smell inside the ambulance has changed. Less antiseptic, more seawater, more death. Together, they wheel Abu Bakr down the dunes. The gurney rattles violently over wet sand and buried stones. The junior EMT remains shackled inside the ambulance, half asleep beneath Niambe's lullaby. Abu Bakr coughs weakly, shallow. His chest barely lifts beneath the thin blankets. The gurney stops at the shoreline. The waves crawl forward slowly, black water lapping at the wheels like slimy eels. Musa and John unhook the floating bed and lift Abu Bakr between them. His body sags instantly, too light, too frail, like his soul was already loosening from the world. Niambe shrugs off her wool coat, letting it fall into the oily sand beneath her. Ronnie slid beside her into the surf. The seawater touches Niambe's feet, ice cold at first, so cold it stabs through her ankles, then warmer, unnaturally warm. Recognizing her warmth, the black tide shimmers moonlight beneath the surface. And ahead, Yamaya rises from the sea in her Mami Wata form, going softly against the ink-dark ocean, the waves radiating from her body instead of crashing through it. Cowrie shells, pearls, and diamonds glint across her crown like stars scattered against midnight water. The sea laps at Nyambe's ankles, her knees, parting the oil, inviting her deeper. Behind her, Musa curses under his breath as his boots sink harder into the sludge. I'm sinking, Musa strains. My stove is saturated in oil. John grunts, struggling to move even a step. Abu Bakr's weak body slipping and tossing in the surf. Shit, John curses. I can't walk. Niambe turns immediately and transforms into her Mami Wata form. Action overtaking grief. Give him to me. They hesitate, only for a second. Then, carefully shift the board carrying Abu Bakr to her. The weight hits her shoulders hard, heavier than she expected, lighter than he should have been. She touches his hand, cold, too cold. Ronnie coils herself tightly around them both like a living stash, scales slick with seawater and oil, a lifeline. Niambe grips her hands on the board and steps deeper into the surf. Jagged rocks bit at her tail beneath the waterline. Oil slicked across her skin. But she didn't slip. Years spent hauling fish crates and working the hatchery had made her body sturdier than it looked, strong and feminine. The pendant around Ronnie's neck begins to glow, soft, blue, maternal. Ahead, the black waves slowly peel away from the shore, revealing a gleaming path toward Jemaya. Peaceful, welcoming, and motherly. Nyambe's breathing grew heavier as she swam, not from exhaustion, from knowing. She reached Jemaya and slowly lowered herself to her knees as the tide withdrew around them, exposing slick stones and dark sand beneath the water. Ronnie loosened her tail around Abu Bakr's waist. Smiling, Yamaya steps closer, arms outstretched. Not towering, not frightening, a mother approaching her child. Thank you, Niambe, for bringing him home. I'm proud of the woman you've become. Niambe cries. Yamaya reaches for her face with strong hands. Not divine hands, mother's hands, warm despite the ocean. I'm sorry for leaving you and Sela. I had duties greater than myself, and I regret every year I was not there to hold you both. Niambe laughs weakly through tears. You taught me to survive. Just don't forget about us, okay? Yamaya kisses her forehead gently, then turns towards Abu Bakr. The sea quiets completely. Even the wind seems to pause. Yamaya cups Abu Bakr's face and kisses him. He inhales like he's been waiting centuries to breathe in. Niambe clings hard to his hand, refusing to let him go. Abu Bakr clenches to her hand. Niambe, he says. Shukran, Maidan. My meher is paid in full. You can let go. I'm ready to go home. His body slackens, complete. The last tension left in his fingers. Niambe froze. Baba? Niambe whispers. No answer. Then, the board submerges into the depths. and bobs up empty. A school of carp rises from the oil. Then a cry, ancient, guttural. A whale's cry rolls across the Pacific. Musa and John slowly lift their head, fear and wonder mixing together. You hear that? John says. The sea erupts. Water surges upwards into 1,000 thundering crashes as a massive gray whale breaches from the black waves. Fatherly, enormous, familiar. The air itself seemed to shake with the force of him. Niambe couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The whale circled her once, slowly, intentionally, not an animal wandering past. Something recognizing her, something loving her. Niambe jumped carefully onto the board of the surf and reaches trembling fingers towards him. Her hand touches the whale's flipper, warm, alive. The whale looks directly into her eyes, and something deep inside her finally settles. Not healing, not gone, but settles. The whale cries out again, a sound as old as sea salt and mud. Baba, if this is your meher, then I witness it. And I receive it, Yamaya says. We will see you again soon, Yamaya and Abu Bakr say. The gray whale dips beneath the water slowly, the ocean closing over him like a blanket of stars and oil. Musa exhales shakily. He didn't leave. He transformed. The tide surges forward, pushing Niambe gently back toward shore. Not rough, protective, like a mother guiding her daughter home. Ronnie curls tightly around her as Niambe collapses into her uniform into the wet sand, exhausted. Eyes closed, breathing, smiling. Songbird. Musa scoops her into his arms and carries her back toward the ambulance, while John rushes to help. Over his shoulder, the oily black sea goes completely still. Sela sits alone in her hotel room, the gift basket unopened. Baba? Sela questions. Numbness crashes into her. She drops her box of sweets and crumples to the floor, sobbing. As Sela mourns, a thin crack in the ceiling blooms into a web, thin, trembling, catching the moonlight. Anderson is Dean's office. His penthouse is quiet. A single lamp. Ledgers stacked, untouched. The phone rings. Rizwanudin answers without greeting. Yes, I'm in Kauri. Does Niambe know? No, Sela says. He understands exactly what that means. Where are you staying? The Parveen, downtown. Silence stretches. You can come here. I didn't call for permission. I called so you wouldn't be surprised. You're welcome regardless. I know. She hangs up. Sela slinks through downtown Kauri unseen, her cape coat shielding her from the rain. Her eyes are sharp, predatory. Posters from the Welcome Week Gala flap in the wind. Celebration over death. She listens as the denizens mutter drunken slurs of the passing of the father of Kauri. Her coat catches on a thread of silk on the lamppost. The drunks laugh and scream, pouring their drinks on the copper statue of the founding father. Sela grabs her blade from her hip holster, but thinks better of it. She'd rather fight someone else tonight. At Rizwanudin's penthouse, Niambe reaches for Sela, and she shoves her hands away. I can't even mourn Baba's death in peace. You steal everything from me. Sela juts her knife at Niambe. The room freezes. Rizwanudin holds out his hand and steps between the sisters. Sela, that's enough. Niambe's heart pounds, stepping forward. I warned you not to come crawling back. I can't deal with your emotions again. Leave. Sela hisses, shoves a vase onto the marble, and storms out. Niambe stands rooted, crushed and empty. She swallows her grief, knowing she cannot afford to fall apart here. For Sela, for the fragile thread of family that still binds them, thin as a spider's web, strong as a song. Did you see her? She hates me. She's grieving, Rizwanudin says. That's different. Sela sits alone on the swings in Peninsula Park. A spider coils openly now, no longer hiding in her coat. The city hums beneath the hill crest. Too loud, too small, too terrible. The family buried your father without you. Sela presses her forehead to the metal chains of the swing. She cries. You are not welcome in Kauri. The spider blows in her ear. She swings forward and backwards, faster and faster and faster, until she launches herself off. She lands in a heap and braces herself as pain shoots through her knees. She had no purpose, so she'd have to create her own. She gets up, wobbly, leaving Kauri Cascadia, leaving the rejection of Niambe and her grandmother, Queen Ino, leaving the abandonment of Yamaya, leaving the grief of Aluvagar, leaving the tyranny of Ambassador Delphine, and becoming a pirate, Amara Yamaya.